I just want to share with you one thing. I am just scrolling reels and I was, thinking about, I made a podcast. There is, some day ago, and I, you know, did an interview with an advocate, and I was, I already just edited that video, but that video is not, finished. This is why, I was thinking for, finish editing of that video, but I was at my room around at 4 or 5 p.m. But from that time and now it's 11 p.m. I didn't even open my project in my editor app. you know you can see how much I am lazy. You can say how much I am, I procrastinate the things, and this is why I didn't do the same thing on time. But I do one thing on time is practice, because practice is my priority. Even if I don't think about any time, I don't even look at the time, because this is my duty, this is my job. I feel this is my job, I can say. I can't skip any day, even if it's 11 p.m. you know it might be 12 p.m., but still I would make video while I will speak English, and I will capture myself in which I will speak in English. So without waste any time, let's talk about today, because of I don't want to waste your time as well. But this is not your time. I am not making video for you guys, but this video is for me, because I am just making these kinds of video because I am not perfect. I am not I am also a beginner like you. But I am making these videos for myself because I want to trace my journey. I just want to know, okay, how much time it may takes to there is a guy who can't even speak any word of English fluently or smoothly, and how much time it may takes to become fluent in English, because English is not my first language. Or my first language is Hindi, and I am fluent in Hindi because I listen more and more, and from my childhood I listen only Hindi, so I can speak without thinking and in Hindi. But when I think about English, I just have to think in my mind in Hindi first, then I translate. Somehow I translate in my mind, but I you know it's I think in English. I started thinking English. You know what? Why and how it happens to me? Because of I listen more and more English content in only in English on daily basis. Because of I am not saying कि I listen this and that thing. I listen only that thing and that type of content in which I am interested. And I just also suggest to you, and if you want to really think in English, because without thinking you can't be fluent, you can't speak in English, and you can't English speaking is necessary. And you know what, why? Because of, if you can't mouth is a muscle. If you can't train your mouth, you can't be even if there is a word, there is a sentence, there is a phrase in your mind, but you can't speak it out smoothly. Sometimes your tongue gets slipped, and sometimes your brain got stuck what to say now. Because there is, speaking is not about one sentence or phrase, and one paragraph. It's about a communication. You just have to put question and give answers. Even if there is no partner you have, you just have to start with yourself. You will have to your partner of yourself if you want to gain your fluency, because in starting you just have to start at alone. But if you have fluency, you will have partner. I'm sure you will have partner if you have fluency, because if you have no fluency and if you are a beginner, you just have to I just want to share with you, because I don't have this kinds of fluency. I am so feel confident some, because I was thinking I can't even speak in English without thinking. And now I speak, I have this kinds of fluency. This is not fluency I can say, but yes, without thinking no one can speak, but I am thinking English. And my mind, I am not thinking in my native language, I am thinking in only in English now. And this is why I push my mind to think in English at least 10 to 15 minutes on daily basis. Because even if I makes mistakes, and I really make mistake, I know, but I allow myself to make mistakes, because without making mistakes, how can I improve myself? Even if I am making this video and I listen my own videos as well. You know why? Because of I just want to know कि in which sentence I made mistake. And I makes mistakes on regular. This is why, so that I can cure my mistake in my upcoming videos, in my upcoming session like this is why, this is the only reason. And speaking is, that's why English is speaking is important. Even if you are alone, you are all alone, you don't have partner, you know if you have fluency, you can find any partner on social media as well. But in starting, you just have to start at alone. This is why. And let's talk about today. If I talk about, there is a book. I just completed two book by reading in English. I just make habit, and I can say I have made a habit of reading in English, and I am reading this book right now. And you can see my flag. I am at the page number 40, and I am reading this page. By reading, your mind think in English and get some knowledge in English. And sometimes your sentence would correct by reading, because of if you read anything in English, your mind you know think like a structure. Your mind will notice ki yes, this sentence is structured in that book in this way. And this is how your mind give the commands to your tongue to speak this way. Because I am not even think like how much I was listening. But there is a people whom you are listening, you know the people who are saying anything in that video. you know I am just supposing you are consuming my content as well. I am just saying anything, you are listening to myself. So you will notice कि which word I am just, how can I say, I don't have how can I make you understand. I'm just saying I, let's talk about, I am just saying I, and after I just used am. I am just saying, saying, you know, understand, this is the present continuous tense, and this is how I am making, word by word a sentence. And this is, I didn't, push my mind to think like this way, but I listen more and more. So my mind have practice of the sentence ki yes, this, if you want to say something like this, you just have to say in this sentence. And this is the proper structure of a sentence to say in a correct way. And this is how you can And let's talk about today. This all about, for my, it's my opinion for you. And it's talk about my today. I went, around at 11 a.m. to the, Togalkabad village, and there was a, client. There was a meeting with him, and I met him, and then I go to the Takand, and there was also a client of, there was a meeting with client, and client met and ready to pay some amount, but didn't pay today, and he will pay, I guess, tomorrow because he promised me to pay tomorrow. So, and then I go to the, I can say, Badarpur, and Badarpur, the client was, I gone there, I went there for, tracing the address so that I can execute the warrant against him, which is passed by the court. And I just go and, the address was, traced, and the address was right. And then I go to the police station, Pul Prahladpur. I went the PS Pul Prahladpur, and I go to the 5B, and there was an officer, and I hand over the, warrant, and there was a, direction to the local police officer. This is why I, went there, and without, direction, no one can, help me. I am talking about police officers, and if you want to, get help of police officer, you just have to, take direction in the court order, and without, direction, no police officer will help you in any manner, regarding any warrant. I am just talking about the warrant, and then I go to the, famous park in Delhi with my friend, and I don't name the park because I don't want to. And then I come to my home, and from then I was, just watching videos and reels, and I was, I guess wasting my time. Not wasting my time. Sometimes I, watched videos related to my field, and so that I can, gain some knowledge. And yes, for sure, I was, watching reels, and reels was, entertaining, and that's, how I wasted my time on reels. And now I realize that I should, stop scrolling and make practice of English speaking, because without speaking I can't live now. And this is all about me for today. I'm just making this video at 11 p.m., and I just, you know I had dinner at around, 7 p.m., because I just have dinner for today so early. And this is all for today only, and this is all about my day, and this is all about my opinion. Let's see you in the next video. So bye bye, good night.